Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jeff Porter from the Indie Gamer Magazine. Today, it's a little bit of a different show. We're going to talk about Valheim a bit, that came out earlier this year and has since just kind of disappeared off of everybody's playlist. So, we're going to talk about that, kind of why we think that it's not failing, but why so many people are kind of turning away from it, and if there's a chance for it to kind of have a resurgence. So we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to go through, watch some of the trailers again, kind of get back into what it was about. We do have a roadmap of what they were planning for 2021. And then we're going to look at some charts that I think is really interesting, based on the Steam gameplay of Valheim and where it started, where it went, and what's going on with it now. So that's going to be the show today. I might sneak in a preview at another game that's coming out this year. It depends kind of how long we go. So before we get into anything, real fast, of course, I need to talk to you about Beamable. So, what is Beamable? It's a free to use tool for game developers that easily allows them to add social, commerce, and content management features to their game with low code drag and drop prefabs that integrate into Unity seamlessly. So, you can head over to beamable.com. The link is in the description below. And if you are a game developer and you're looking to take your game to that next level and you need that little boost, be sure to head over here and give that a try. So, Beamable, Valheim. I want to start off by saying right away, I was a huge fan. I am a huge fan of Valheim. I bought probably 5 copies because I played it, and then I wanted all my friends to play it. We were renting our own server. We had an absolute blast with it. However, the thing is, it fell off pretty quick. You get a group of your buddies in a game and you start doing everything, you start playing, you start progressing through it. You kind of expect there to be, a little bit more to get to. For instance, in other Valheim is a survival, so there's crafting, exploring, building. In other survival games, 7 Days to Die, Conan Exiles, even Green Hell, everything like that. There's, I mean, there's plenty to do, and in Valheim, it's not that there's nothing to do, but you do run out of things relatively quickly. Even if you have one of the large maps, if you have a couple of people on, you're each on a boat and you're going around exploring everything, it's not going to take long for everybody to get their portals up, and then you can start porting around the world. The building features ran out pretty quick. So I just feel like it launched. It was a completed game for sure, but it just didn't have that end game survivability. And by survivability, I mean like giving you hours of content at end game. A lot of the game of Valheim is spent in the early game. As you're crafting everything, as you're working to get your weapons, and progressing through killing the bosses and everything. However, once you do that, there's not a ton for you to do, and I say that from a survival game aspect. Even in 7 Days to Die, there's still plenty to do. There's trader quests, there's unlimited building, there's a ton of different options. I just feel like Valheim kind of lacked that in game, either survivability or replayability, like to just keep on going on even after you kind of quote unquote finish the game. So we're going to jump over, we're going to look at some of this stuff, and then I have a chart that shows you the players and how everything's kind of gone down. Take a look at their roadmap, and then we'll kind of get into some thoughts. So first off, I think it'll be good, just to kind of remind everybody because it has been a minute for a lot of people since they've played this. I almost thought about doing, I almost thought about doing a reinstall segment where I'm like, hey guys, you should jump in and download this again. And I was like, my gosh, it just released. Like it's half a year old or something like that. So I just thought that this would kind of be a bit more interesting. So let's jump over. We're gonna check out the trailer. We're gonna go through the Steam page as we normally do, and then I've got some more information for you guys. So there's the trailer. Um, we're gonna look at some screenshots real fast, just because it was a pretty game. I understand that some of the models and stuff are low poly, but the world that it took place in and everything, it worked together really well. It was beautiful. I thought the lighting was good. The building options, as you can see there, there's not a ton. You do run out pretty quick, and like I said, with the world and the different biomes, it kind of got old too fast. Um, yeah, a couple more screenshots. Like it looks really good. It played really good. Everything, everything was right for this game. Everything was good. And even if you look at the reviews, still overwhelmingly positive, 238,000, and then even for recent, nearly 10,000 very positive. So what is it about Valheim that's that's not working for it? And I know they do have their Hearth and Home update. Um, so right here it talks a little bit about um, cooking and building. Got a little bit more extra attention. For all those builders out there, we have added a whole bunch of new build pieces and furniture ranging everywhere from a sturdy shingle roof to a mighty stone throne. We have also done our best to listen to community feedback, and several highly requested features have made their way into this upgrade or update. You'll now be able to share map data with other Vikings in your world, find seeds to plant more types of trees, and finally destroy your unwanted items with the new Obliterator. If taming animals is your thing, you'll now find that you can name your favorite pets. Uh, with many features introduced in Hearth and Home and already been revealed, now even Odin has spied. So there's there's definitely been content. There's been things added, but why is it still trending down? So I think the interesting and the biggest thing to show this to you is with the Steam chart, which I think is very telling. So if we look here, I'll bring this in a little bit. You can see earlier in the year, even in October, let's go to the 1 year. This is the last 7 days. Here we'll go 6 months, I guess, or all. Here we go, all. All right, so going back to February when it released, you're looking at 400,000 concurrent players. And as you can follow the graph down over time, it has dwindled. Right now, there's been a little bit of a boost, I would say, because of that Hearth and Home update. However, you're still, look at that, only 100,000. So that is, just a fraction, 20% of what was happening. As you can see, it has been fairly consistent around 20 to 30, I'd say. It has gotten down under 20, but that did have that little bit of a nudge with a Hearth and Home update. I am very surprised by this chart. Like I said, I was playing this with friends. We were talking about this a little bit, and we think there might be a couple of different possibilities with this. So, not only, like I said, we talked about um, kind of the end game content. With the Hearth and Home, they have added more building, so that's good. That was one of my things. Um, However, we still need that end game content. We still need things to do. Um, Even in other survival games, there's still challenges and different, dungeons. Conan Exiles has dungeons you can go into and farm. Valheim needs that. Sure, you can go into the crypts and mines, or kind of farm stuff that way. You can travel the world. You can build up your village and everything. But as soon as you kill off all the bosses, you might as well start a new world because there's not much left for you to do. The other thing is, since earlier this year, there have been a ton of games released. So not only was Valheim competing against itself, it came out early in the year, um, and especially it was still kind of, we're still dealing with COVID. I guess even now we're still dealing with COVID, but it did come out around there, so it might have seen a little bit of boost from that. Was another idea we had, and also just new game releases. There's been so many great game releases, and not only indie and stuff like New World. New World has been exploding recently. Um, but other Viking themed games. There's been Tribes of Midgard that came out and had a big boost. There was Frozenheim. So there was all of these Viking themed games, which was something that we wanted for so long. For so many of us, we just wanted Viking stuff. Um, and now I feel like that trend might, over the last year or two, that trend might be teetering back out and we're going to go back to something else. I don't know, but I just feel like there's so many different possibilities about why Valheim has been going down. So, like I said in the beginning with the building, they seem to have addressed that. The end game content, other games, COVID. There's a lot of possibilities. So now the other thing, I mean, this chart is crazy to me. But let's take a look at this roadmap. So I think I this isn't good. So as you can see, this is the Valheim roadmap for 2021. The Hearth and Home improvements just released. You see a problem? That was update one of their 4 to 5 plus. So they do have a roadmap, which is good. They have an idea of where they want to go, but I just think it's going to take too long. I think people have already lost interest, and if they haven't, they might before these release. So, update 2, we have Cult of the Wolf. Update 3, Saga Worthy Seas, even more ships. That would be super awesome. And update 4, new biome, Voyage to the Mistlands. Um, and then if Odin wills it, they have a ton of other stuff, multiplayer interactions. I assume that's like trading and stuff. A party system would be ideal. Combat improvements, moon phases, tar pits, vendor inventory expansion, something brigands. I want to say is, oh man, Svartalf for more unique locations, a sandbox mode. That right there, I think a sandbox mode could easily bring in more players, especially the builders. Uh, like they said, like the Hearth and Home was like dedicated to the builders of Valheim. You throw in a sandbox mode, I definitely think uh, builders would have enjoyed that. And then you have Moonin, Raven of Lore, and then special celebrity guest Ganglery. So they had a bunch of things. They've only made it through one update in the last, I guess it's been about 8 months, and they've seen that incredible drop off. So the question is Valheim, I guess, dead? And I think the answer might be to an extent. I definitely think there's always going to be that player base. I just think that with all the contributing factors that we've mentioned, that it saw that incredible boost that will not be matched. Um, I think there it was just a flurry of everything working right at the beginning of the year for them, and then obviously as time progressed, other games came out. Lack of content and everything faded out. I think it's just the way that it goes. So I think Valheim is going to have that steady player base. Probably, I think that's fair. Probably between 20 and 30,000. Um, Even with the update, they saw that little boost, but as you can see, it's going back down. So it's still not enough content. I think, which is a bummer. Like I said, I was a huge fan of Valheim. I bought a lot of copies for my friends. It was enjoyable, but after that month or two, it just kind of faded out. So with Valheim, obviously, I think if you enjoy it, you're still gonna enjoy it. Um, I have pretty much already played through it, I guess, and so we were looking for something to play. We saw Valheim had the Home and Hearth update. We thought about it and we looked through it and we're just like, I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if that's enough content to keep us interested. People who have already essentially gone from the beginning to the end. Sure, we could stay on there. We could do some building. Uh, but I mean, at this point, with so many other games out there right now, I think it's best to just either wait for the rest of those updates, wait for maybe they'll do like an expansion or something like that. But at the moment, I just don't know if it's worth jumping into. I mean, if you haven't played it, I think it would be fun. It's only $20. You could definitely jump in there. You could get a good, I would say 40 to 80, 40 to 100 hours on it, and probably, have fun. But what I'm talking about is with the survival genre, you expect that replayability and that ability to keep on playing. And right now, Valheim just doesn't offer it, I don't think. Um, and looking at the chart, I was pretty surprised. Obviously, I didn't think that they were going to be able to hold 500,000 concurrent players for an entire year. But you're looking at a month drop off before it's gone. So that seemed about right to me. That seemed about where I kind of teetered out. So it's an interesting one. Uh, I think Valheim is gonna stay around. It is gonna get its updates, but it's not gonna have that huge player base. It's gonna definitely have its more niche following, and it'll stick around for as long as it can. So I guess I don't think Valheim is necessarily it's not a dead game in the fact that it's still going to have that a decent sized following, but compared to what it began as, it is a shell of its former self. So we've been going for about 20 minutes. I might real fast we'll jump over. I do want to mention this upcoming game called Tormentor. um, it is the Halloween season. We're doing all that kind of stuff. So let's see if this will jump over here and we'll look at some screenshots real fast. So in Tormentor, you take on the role of a merciless torturer, earn money from video transmission of your torments, and then buy new victims and torture tools to expand your prison. So this looks really morbid, uh, I guess, Halloweeny. Um, and once I explain to you the other games that this studio did, you might understand a little bit better. So this comes from Mad Mind Studio, Succubus, Agony. You with me? So we're gonna jump over. We're gonna check out some of these screenshots real fast, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes and mention this. So here you go. So this is Tormentor. They have 6 screenshots here. We're gonna take a glance at. So Tormentor, it is not released yet. It's planned to be released. I thought it was this year, but now it says to be announced. So if it's anything like how Agony went, it could be a minute. So you take on the role of a ruthless tormentor who manages an abandoned prison full of victims sentenced to death. Um, Fight against a developing mental illness that takes away your memories and causes more and more frequent and dangerous fainting. Work with an organized criminal group using dark web to get more doses of the experimental drug that keeps your mind sober. Take over a prison that has been abandoned for years. Um, by taking advantage of ray tracing possibilities, begin to create unusual traps that will confuse your prey, giving you the necessary advantage while hunting. Search for the best deals and enrich prison cells with the new torture tools to prepare your victims for the dangerous game. Satisfy the hellish lusts of your sponsors and win progressively darker contracts by removing those individuals who are inconvenient for them. So, uh, main features: expansion of the prison with new instruments of torture, extensive character editor for creating new victims, video transmission equipment, organizing a hunt for yourself, brutal executions, fighting and sneaking and TPP mode, and receiving donations and new victims from sponsors. So I will say, if you've never played Agony or you've never played Succubus, this, be warned, it'll definitely probably be pretty messed up. There's some dark stuff in Succubus and in Agony, and if they're taking it to the next level with this, which is basically torture porn, um, it might get pretty dark and gory in this. So, however, if you're a fan of that, if you are a fan of horror, gory horror movies, stuff like, it's kind of got a Saw feel to it, mixed with like, the typical haunted mansion, prison, whatever. So I think it could be pretty cool. I'll definitely check it out when it releases. We're going to keep an eye on it and let you guys know. So be sure to head over, add this to your wish list. And I just wanted to mention that real fast because I thought it looked interesting. Somebody sent that to me, and I had to add it. So that is our show for today, Tormentor, and then what's going on with Valheim. I hope that there's definitely more content added. I hope that they get that stuff pushed out. I know it looks like they're probably running a bit behind. It's a great game. I had a ton of fun with it. I'll definitely still play it again. It's one of those rainy day games. Nothing really sounds good. Let's create a world of Valheim, go kill some goblin imp things for a bit, and build up. So I hope that it comes back. I hope that they get a little bit of a boost from their next expansions, and hopefully they'll be sooner rather than later. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Remember to like, subscribe, and then check out the magazine over here. You can follow us on social media. We have a print and digital magazine. Be sure to head over to our Patreon. You can subscribe for only $3 a month. Get the print for $14.99, and then if you really like us, you can get the premium for $20, where it basically pays for itself. You get the print, you get the posters, you get the digital, you get all that stuff. Plus, you get Steam codes worth at least $20, so it pays for itself. So head over to our Patreon, check that out. I'm Jeff Porter from the Indie Gamer Magazine, and we will see you guys Friday for our Friday giveaway. So until then, enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you guys then.